Hello there, and welcome to the Stay Off My Lawn podcast, where we'll have a little fun, lots of laughs, and discussions on the common sense that needs to be applied to a lot of today's world news issues. And now, the disclaimer. Stay Off My Lawn is not intended as legal, medical, or financial advice. Void where prohibited. No purchase necessary to win. Open to legal U.S. residents 18 or older in the contiguous 48 states. Any resemblance to anyone living or deceased is purely coincidental. Actual price may vary. Only use as directed. Not a member of FDIC. And now, here are your hosts, Mike and Richard.
Well, all right. Here we are. This is the time of the week where the turkeys still sound like. They sound like in about 3 or 4 days. Sizzling as you baste them.
That's right. This is our turkey extravaganza. Yes, folks, we're going to have a turkey thing and each and every one of our 3 episodes.
That's right.
Let me hold my enthusiasm.
We're only doing 1 episode. It's okay. It's semantics. What are we doing here? So we are a day early. Welcome to this week's episode of Stay Off My Lawn. It is November 24th, 2025, and this is episode 143. And so it is Thanksgiving week. We do have to do a little bit early today. This is a Monday, which we normally do Tuesdays. And to give you something to look forward to next week, we will have Charmaine Davies joining us. And so that will be a little bit of prettiness to our ugly mugs.
She will definitely frou up our podcast. It will be nice and pretty for at least a couple episodes.
It'd be fancy. Very nice. Yeah. So anyway, since it's Thanksgiving week, we have a couple of Thanksgiving week things to play for you. Like Richard said, one for every segment. This one, since we love history, this one comes from Prager University. And as soon as I can find it, this one comes from Prager University. It's the story of Thanksgiving, the history going all the way back to 1621, back when my shoes still fit. And
I think that was my second Thanksgiving, if I recall right.
It's got to be around then, anyway. Anyway, here we go. This is the history of Thanksgiving. Take notes, kids. This is there'll be a quiz later. So.
In Plymouth, Massachusetts, in the autumn of 1621, 53 men, women, and children celebrated their first harvest in the New World. The great Indian chief, Massasoit, brought 90 of his men to the 3-day party. From all reports, a good time was had by all. How did this event, which happened almost 400 years ago, become a part of the American story and our oldest national tradition? Credit goes to many people, but 2 stand out. One you know and one you should know. Abraham Lincoln and Sarah Josepha Hale. More on both in a moment. As a religious people, Americans have always had a keen sense they have been blessed by Providence. The Pilgrims certainly felt this, and so did subsequent generations, including George Washington. Washington was the first president to declare a national day of public thanksgiving and praise. But it wasn't until the Civil War that the idea of a national day of Thanksgiving fully took hold. In the autumn of 1863, at the height of the Civil War, when Americans were bitterly divided, Abraham Lincoln nevertheless called for a day of national thanksgiving. Lincoln began his proclamation this way: "The year that is drawing toward its close has been filled with the blessings of fruitful fields and healthful skies." This was an extraordinary way to characterize 1863, the bloodiest year of the war. But even in the midst of a civil war of unequaled severity and magnitude, Lincoln continued, the nation had much to be thankful for and much to look forward to. The day was coming when America would again be united and experience, as Lincoln put it, a large increase of freedom. It was a profoundly hopeful message, reminding Americans of their nation's capacity for renewal. Lincoln's decision to call for a national Thanksgiving came at the urging of a far-sighted and persistent magazine editor who believed such a celebration would have a deep moral influence on the American character. Her name was Sarah Josepha Hale. More than any single person, she is the reason we celebrate Thanksgiving today. By the 1840s, many states had established an annual day of Thanksgiving, but the date varied widely from state to state. Hale saw the value of a day in which the entire nation celebrated as one. For 2 decades, she conducted a campaign to consolidate public support for her idea. As the influential editor of one of the most popular periodicals of the 19th century, year after year, she wrote columns making the case for the holiday. She published fiction and poems with a Thanksgiving Day theme, and she offered her readers recipes for traditional Thanksgiving dishes, such as roast turkey and pumpkin pie. And by the way, she also wrote the nursery rhyme, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Presidents Zachary Taylor, Millard Fillmore, and Franklin Pierce, to whom she had written letters, showed little interest in her cause, but Lincoln saw its potential. His proclamation was the first in what became an unbroken string of annual Thanksgiving proclamations by every subsequent president. Congress finally sealed the deal in 1941, when President Franklin Roosevelt signed legislation making Thanksgiving an official national holiday. Lincoln and Hale believed the act of expressing gratitude had tremendous healing power. In his Thanksgiving proclamation, Lincoln spoke not as commander-in-chief of the Union forces, but as president of the entire nation, North and South. He made no reference to rebels or enemies. Rather, the president spoke of the whole American people. It's a message that resonates today when Americans, even within families, are divided over issues of politics and culture. Thanksgiving, our nation's oldest tradition, brings us together just as it brought the Pilgrims and Indians together in 1621. Lincoln said it best when he called on every American to celebrate Thanksgiving with one heart and one voice. Thanksgiving gives us a moment to focus on the blessings of being Americans, on the prosperity, security, and freedom we enjoy. If Lincoln could focus on these blessings in the middle of the Civil War, we should certainly be able to do so today. Here's a suggestion. At this year's Thanksgiving table, ask everyone to spend a minute to say what they are grateful for. I suspect you'll find your guests will have a long and eloquent list, and if they don't, you can help them out. Suggest they start with family, friends, and living in the freest country in the world. After all, if we don't give thanks, what's the point of Thanksgiving? I'm Melanie Kirkpatrick, Senior Fellow at the Hudson Institute and author of Thanksgiving, the holiday at the heart of the American experience, for Prager University.
As much as I appreciate that whole thought, I think the long, eloquent list and my family doesn't necessarily go together. That seems like something that, but we did that when Chris was younger and my mother was still alive. We would kind of like all say something that we were thankful
all my girls hated that part. Okay, they go, look, if you're not grateful for anything, what's the point? I mean, that's what I would literally say to them. So, and I'm very grateful to have a wonderful retirement and a lovely bride who has hung out with me for 50 years now, and good friends like yourself.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, well, I'm the same way. I mean, I'm grateful for God's kind of like led me through all kinds of different things the last few years, especially, and I'm grateful for His presence in my life. I'm grateful for you as a friend, and definitely my wife, who has just been the rock of my whole existence. And of course, my son and daughter-in-law and those 2 grandbabies that they somehow, like I said, they've not developed any taste yet, and they think Papa's still pretty good. So it's wonderful. Yeah, that's what I'm thankful for. And we're going to see them this afternoon. Another reason why we are recording a day early, because we are going to have those granddaughters here at the house. So there'll be nothing but laughter and breaking things. There'll be that
running up and down the hallway and reading the same book you just did 20 minutes ago.
Yes. And maybe I'll throw in just because it's Thanksgiving week. We'll have to wait and see. So anyway, and since a lot of us will be traveling, I will not be. Are you traveling this Thanksgiving?
We're only going about 40 miles into town with friends. Neither one of us have my other granddaughters that are now both in the area are there with my oldest granddaughter will be with her new family. I mean, they've been married just barely a year, so having Thanksgiving that way. And I understand that, and that's fine. Our friends don't have any family in the area. So the four of us get together. There's old people. We watch TV and we might even snooze a little.
We've gotten together with this family that we've known for a long, long time, for 30 something years. We normally get together with them for Thanksgiving. Since Chris decided to shun us when he was in high school because he had girlfriends, they had to go hang out with their family at Thanksgiving. So we started going over there, and he's graduated high school 16 years ago. So yeah, we've been doing this a long, long time. But I think they may be moving it to a different part of Georgia. They've got they're the rich people that we know that they have another house up in a place called Big Canoe. It's a beautiful place, but it's a little over an hour drive, and we may not just end up going. We may just hang out so Chris is going to deep fry a turkey again this year. So if he doesn't burn down the house, we'll have to we'll just eat over there. Barbara bought another turkey. She's going to roast that. So we actually have that thawing out as it stands as of right now.
We've got one doing that too because we bought enough groceries that you get a free bird. I'm not going to turn down a whole free turkey. I only want like one no more than about 12 pounds. They had one that was slightly over 12 pounds. It was perfect. It's Signature Select, the Albertsons brand. I don't care. It's a turkey. If you cook it right, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, unless it was verbally abused and maybe kicked around a little bit, I don't see what the difference. I just don't understand. But somebody asked this the other day on a radio show. They said, "Why do we not eat turkey any other time of year? Turkey and dressing, and why is that not like on the menu when you go to restaurants?" It's like, it's a good question. I love turkey, and I like the mashed potatoes and gravy and the cranberry sauce. It looks like it came out of a dog food can. I mean, those things are all just perfect. I mean, I don't know why we don't do that more often.
That would be the same thing for St. Patrick's Day. My youngest she loved corned beef and cabbage and all that stuff. My wife fixes that really well, and she goes, "We should eat this more." It's like, no, once a year is enough for me on that one. But I do like turkey. I'm going to probably take the one here in another 2 or 3 weeks, maybe the middle of December or something, and I will spatchcock it, meaning cut the backbone out of the back of the turkey, flatten that sucker down, and put it on my smoker for 6-7 hours.
Oh, there you go.
Have a smoked turkey to nibble off of and stuff.
I think that's what they did at my daughter-in-law's house last year, the year before. They had a flattened turkey, and it took a while to cook. It took longer to cook than somehow it was expected, but it turned out pretty good though. I mean,
usually cook quicker, but when you're only using, I'll probably set it at between 250, 275, which is not 400 degrees or 350 or whatever, so that it slowly will soak in the stuff, and I'll watch the temperatures on it, and they're pretty good when they come out of the smoker, nummy.
I'm telling you, everything is better when it's smoked like that. But when you were talking about the corned beef and cabbage, now I don't know whether it's because German heritage or whatever, but we used to do the ham and cabbage. My parents would always, and that was just, I love cabbage. And a lot of people say it smells like butt, I guess, in your house. If you cook cabbage. I love the smell of it. I think it's fantastic.
I'm not a big fan of salads. Every once in a while, I want to be a rabbit and eat salads, but I do like my coleslaw. So the wife will buy a package of it, maybe, or we'll buy some cabbage and she'll slice it up, and then she puts her own whatever she does, that voodoo that she do so well, stuff that she makes for them.
Is completely different than fresh cabbage. I mean, it's just
it's way different. Yeah.
So to me, I just love it. I love it. My mother used to do that all the time when I was growing up. So, but it makes me hungry. I'm hungry all of a sudden. I just ate a little while ago. Anyway, since and we started off talking about traveling this week. Department of Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy put out a video this past week, and I actually got this off of the DOT.
Please don't call him Sean Duffy. That's
Sean Duffy. He's actually, does he still do the podcast that he does with his wife?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have heard of that. I don't think I've ever listened to an episode of maybe a little blips here and there, but
That's what I've listened to, just
yeah.
blips here and there. But and maybe his wife is doing it by herself now. I don't know. But it was the blips that I heard were very, very good. But anyway, he had this message for those traveling at least through airports this Thanksgiving.
Fly with me, let's fly away.
Air travel is a miracle of American ingenuity. We built airports to launch a golden age of travel across the skies. We respected the dignity of air travel and the men and women who made the dream possible.
All right, I got to stop it there just for a second. This voiceover guy, I don't know who he is, but he sounds like somebody just kicked him in the stomach. I don't know what happened.
If he had any more enthusiasm, I would think he had some.
He might have a little. Here we go. I'm sorry. I'll let it play.
Flying was a bastion of civility, but manners don't stop at the gate.
That's right. Manners don't stop at the gate. Things aren't what they used to be. Some would call it the golden age of travel. Let's bring civility and manners back. Ask yourself, are you helping a pregnant woman put her bag in the overhead bin? Are you dressing with respect? Are you keeping control of your children? Are you saying thank you to your flight attendants and your pilots? Are you saying please and thank you in general? The golden age of travel begins with you.
It's really sad that, you zoom out and it sounds really, really hokey that he had to make this. But at the same time, it's like, have you seen any of the videos where these people are like having big fights on airplanes and in airport terminals? And it's like, what's wrong with people anymore?
I don't know. I just saw a video last night of a lady she came out of the bathroom just as the captain or whatever maybe needed to use the can and came out of the cockpit, and she tried to get into the cockpit. It's like, really? What part of stupid are you? Yes. No, we always say hello and greet them when you're going through. A lot of people just look at them and sneer and keep moving. Always say thank you and we appreciate it. Some of them, they're getting a little jaded, and I understand that, but I try to make things pleasant and chuckle with them.
There's no reason to be negative at all. I mean, it's like, we've all got issues. We've all got stuff we're going through, but it's like, you don't treat your fellow man, whether you're in an airport or not. But, it's like he was talking in the video, and you can't see it with audio only, but they were showing how people used to dress when they got on airplanes. I remember back in the 70s, people would get dressed up to get on an airplane. I mean, it's like, okay.
Wow.
I mean, now people are dressing in pajamas, and Crocs. It's like, okay.
Yeah. There was, I just saw something yesterday on, they're going to start having a dress code just to get on the plane.
Oh,
I mean, it's not anything special, but, you don't show up on the plane half dressed.
Yeah.
Some of these gals go, why? Is it really? No. This is not how you show up on a plane.
It is just weird though. It's like they're shopping at Walmart at 11 o'clock on a Saturday. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, some of them, you thought that looked good when you put it on before you came to the airport? Really? Did you see them here anywhere?
I'm going somewhere where it's warm or it's hot or whatever. I'll wear shorts and everything, but I'm not wearing flip-flops. I'm not wearing a tank top. I'm not doing, it's like, just put on something halfway decent. I mean, a nice t-shirt doesn't have any cuss words on it. I mean, it's those kind of things. Just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody has any class anymore.
I know.
I'm not one to really talk about much class, but I mean, if my level is here, then everybody else's should be somewhere in that area, I would think, because I don't set big goals for myself. So anyway, you want to do this next story? Yeah, we might as well.
Let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll start a segment. Yeah, get it out of the way.
This is kind of a downer story. A 26-year-old woman who was on public transportation in Chicago is still in critical condition. I think it was a week ago. Was it a week ago today? Yes, I think it was
something. Yeah, somewhere right close to that.
Apparently, this 50-year-old dude threw some kind of flammable liquid on her and yelled, "Burn alive, BITCH," and set her on fire. The guy has been arrested. Now, get this, a total of 72 times in the past. He is 50 years old. I'm not even going to mention his name. I don't like giving these
Nope.
people any kind of notoriety.
Nope.
But 72 times. And he was on a pre-trial release for allegedly knocking out a psychiatric worker, unconscious back in August. And I hate to even bring this up, but it was a black guy and a white woman. Can you imagine the craziness if it was reversed?
Oh, my Lord, people would just be going apoid. Nope, and this stuff, it's got to be, and that's what's starting to happen now, and that's why there's troops in some of the cities, is there are consequences to actions. It hasn't been there for several years. It's like, oh, you just go right back out and do what you were doing now. It's okay. Where in the heck does a judge get off trying to hide and help a gentleman who is going to be going on trial to escape ICE out of a courthouse?
Yeah.
Good Lord. And now her tail is in all kinds of trouble. I mean, she's her is coming up on the court docket, and she's already been disbarred, and she's no longer a judge. So it's like, what, there are consequences, people.
I mean, it's one thing to have your political viewpoints, and that's fine, but to act on them like that, to abuse the power that you have as a judge. But I mean, how does anybody get arrested 72 times is back on the street?
It doesn't happen in your state or mine.
It doesn't.
But it does happen in the blues, in the big cities.
Absolutely.
So,
like I said, if the roles were reversed, if this is a white guy that did this to a black woman, I mean, it's bad either way. I mean, for argument's sake, this is a terrible thing to happen. This woman's still in critical condition, and I don't know whether what her prognosis is. I haven't seen any updates on this lately. But I mean, can you imagine what I mean, Tampon Tim's wife would still be smelling the tires out the window. Remember she was talking about that during the George Floyd riots.
Yeah, George Floyd is what would happen, only it would be a male on a female and not a white guy with a black guy who was strung out on drugs, and he didn't die from anything the officer did. He died from a drug overdose. He had been on them forever. So,
another example, being in Chicago, remember the whole Jesse Smollett thing, the outrage from every corner of the country about how terrible this was because these MAGA people put a noose around my neck and they spoke terribly to me. And it never happened. It never happened. And it's like everybody just sweep it under the carpet. You could hear the sweeping noises as the evening news was playing. It's just Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, didn't seem too outraged at all. Maybe I'm reading into it, but you can hear how he talks about it here.
This is an absolute failure of our criminal justice as well as our mental health institutions. The system that we had failed to intervene, and now we have a woman who is fighting for her life, and I am praying for her and her full recovery. Safety as a whole is my top priority, not just for public transportation. And so there are appropriations that have been dedicated specifically around safety, but even more specifically around homelessness as well as mental health services. Right? So now we have a governing structure that will allow for all voices to come together to think strategically about where those investments should rest.
I want you to think, this is your city. Would this not be something that's like, we need to stop this now? There should be an outrage. I don't care what color the victim was. I don't care what color the perpetrator was. This should be something that should outrage everybody. I don't understand that. He sounds like he's talking about, somebody tripped over a crack in the sidewalk and it was terrible.
And they got shoved down.
Yeah.
No, it's, my priority is safety, my eyeball, please. You're just squeaking words that have nothing behind them. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. We're up against a break. Let's do that. And then when we come back, we're going to play the WKRP clip that we play, I think, every year so far, and then we'll get into some more news stories. We've got a little bit on Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of our favorite subjects.
Okay.
So,
I thought you were going to play it at the end of the next segment, but that's okay. Whenever.
we could do that too. I forgot. I keep forgetting. You and I flip flop back and forth. We'll play it at the end. How's that? So when we come back, we'll talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. So hang in there. We'll be right back.
Thank you for joining us, and happy Thanksgiving from Mike and Richard.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Beach Metal Detector Guy.
Mr. Beach metal detector guy.
Some seek their fortune on the stock market, others in real estate. But you look for loose change in the sand.
Hitting the jackpot.
Armed with a 5-foot Geiger counter and the world's largest set of earphones, you live your life with a simple code of honor. Finders keepers, losers weepers.
Finders keepers.
Sure, people mock you, but he who holds 92 cents, a gold-plated earring, and a steel-toed boot gets the last laugh.
Who's laughing now?
So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, O Sultan of the Sand. We'd give you a medal, but you probably already found one.
Mr. Beach metal detector guy.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, shoot.
Oh gosh, yeah, those people are annoying, and they do have this big. Why are their headphones so large? I don't know.
When we were back seeing the daughter and son-in-law and the grandsons back in Virginia Beach before they got transferred to Hawaii. Horrible duty. She goes, we've been here now almost 9 years, which is forever in military terms of not being transferred. That's like an eternity. And she goes, we've never went to the beach to watch the sun come up over the ocean. And it's like, she goes, so we were thinking the weather should be really good on Thursday, you guys. She goes, I know it's early. She looked at me and then she looked at her mom and went, yeah, really early. Because, the light doesn't get up that early. She's feeling better, having the knees done. She's not so tired all the time now. And my hip the way it is, I understand. But anyhow, we were out there 4:30 in the morning. We got there about, 4:45, and the sun wasn't up yet. And here's this guy going down the beach. He's got his little wand out in front of him with his headset on.
Well, at least he's not annoying the people out there at 2 PM.
Yeah, and who knows what times of day, unless he does it like before he goes to work, or that's his retirement fund. I mean, this is, people go, well, how much do you get out of your podcast? We do it for the love of it.
We do this because, not because it's easy, but because we thought it was easy. Again,
we may have found differently, but it's okay. We laugh at this a lot. We get done and we go, oh, that was pretty good. When I'm listening to it, making the videos and stuff, going, wow, we actually did a good job. Huh, who knew?
Actually entertaining. Yeah, I made myself laugh. But when it comes to sunrises, I grew up on the west coast of Florida, so we always had sunsets. But when I was TDY for 3 weeks at Patrick Air Force Base at Cocoa Beach, there was a couple of times while I was over just in those 3 weeks, and we woke up early, went out to the beach to watch sunrise, because that's really, it's a little bit different. I mean, it has a different color scheme to it than the sunsets do. So it's really cool. I mean, I love that kind of thing anyway. My phone is filled with sunset pictures that we've taken over the years from Myrtle Beach and St. Simon's Island and all that kind of stuff. So,
I get them at my property, so it's kind of cool. And like you say, different colors, and I can see the sunrise that direction, and then that direction I can look out the back window and watch it set, because there's not like 50 houses in the way.
We have the power plant off to the west from where we live, and we crest a hill on Main Street in Cartersville, and you can see when the sunset is there, it's a beautiful sunset, but you got these smokestacks that because it's a coal burning plant, and it's like it just has these little curlicues on it. It's like, oh well. But anyway, it's nice. I like it. So anyway, Marjorie Taylor Greene has tendered her resignation from Congress. She's releasing her first book too, and I had not heard about this up until yesterday.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, it's called simply MTG. Anyway, I think it's safe to say this is not going to be the last we hear from her. I think that she's got something else in mind. There's something going on with her, and I don't know exactly what it is. She's always been a little bit of a loose cannon, very similar to Trump, but I think that's why they maybe rub each other the wrong way, because they're both kind of like shooting from
Well,
the hip.
he was treating her right and supporting her, and then she turned around and started, you and I don't agree with Trump on everything. There is no way. Now, some of that stuff, it's like, really, did you really need to say that? And, moving on with things. And he called me a traitor. And then back when I was in fourth grade, it was, I don't want to hear all of if you don't get that reference. That's for those of you who have watched Goonies. Yeah, it's when they're trying to get Chunk to talk. So anyway, yeah, I heard Marjorie Taylor Greene making a statement, and it sounded sort of like this.
Did it sound like this? Yeah,
very similar. Yeah, that was the words I think she used at that time.
By the same token, though, for her to just kind of come out and disagree with him, I think she had some disagreements on the deportations and just different things. I mean, we're adults. We should be able to disagree and still be fine. I mean, politically, even Democrats and Republicans up until 10, 15, 20 years ago, we all did that just fine. We didn't have a problem in America like that. But for the Republicans, they don't have to get defeated by the Democrats. They defeat each other. I mean, we implode almost every time we're in power, and this is starting already. But for him to kind of like get so upset and call her a traitor just because she didn't agree with something, I blame him, but it's her. So I don't know.
Yeah, and he didn't need to call her that. And then when that happened, but prior to that, there'd been some things that were going on, and people were going, okay, she's normally weird, but boy, has she stepped on a weird button. What the world is she talking about now? Because it wasn't making any sense, and it just kind of all came to a head, and it's like, bye-bye for now. I don't know. If she thinks that she's got a political career to continue with, I don't see it happening. That's just me.
Somebody messaged me the other day. It's like, did you hear about this? I go, yeah. She goes, you think she's going to run for governor? It's like, I don't think she's got the political chops to run for governor in the state of Georgia. I just don't. And I don't dislike her, but I mean, it's sort of like, it's like Trump, it's sort of like, yeah, sometimes I can't agree with everything that comes out of your mouth because sometimes it's just downright weird. So, I mean, I do like her, and just like I like Trump, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and then you've got on the left side, you got Swalwell that's announcing he's going to run for governor because they need another moron in California, when the last time he ran for president, he was begging people. He was 65,000 people short of donations. Even just $1 will help get me up on that stage. You've got to send in. It didn't happen. So he was like, Cammy Joe, he didn't even barely have 1% of his was over before it started.
And if Cammy Joe didn't change her background to black instead of Indian, then chances are she wouldn't have gotten the donations that
wouldn't even have gotten that far. Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of the Democrats that have these truly racist views inside, they're like, see, I'm not racist. See, I've got the receipt that I gave to, whatever. I mean.
Moving on.
Some have criticized Marjorie for, I don't know if you noticed it, but her retirement date is January 5th. And there's a reason for that, because that is 2 days after she becomes eligible for the House pension plan. January 3rd.
So she waited 2 days, not just the day after, but 2 days just to make sure.
That way there's no question. If she did it on the 4th, it'd be different.
So
in a way, that's kind of smart.
Don't they get their amount they're making when they retire or leave or whatever? Like 175,000, don't they get that much of it, or do they get a percentage of based upon how many years they put in? I don't know.
Yeah, I had read something about that years ago, but I think there's a lot of variables. There's like a formula that they have to use in order to see how much.
Still makes for a pretty dang good retirement.
But and if she's going to wait until January 5th, why not? I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think that's smart.
Yeah. I would do the same thing. Do what you need to do. All right. Oh, this next one. Oh.
I love this. There are 6 people in Congress right now that are doing the whole bicycle backpedaling thing that's going on. Now
Beep, 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 beep.
and some of them are even saying,
Yes, they are.
they made a video directed at service members. Well, let's just hear it first. This is how that video went.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It was a reflex action. I'm sorry.
You can read into that all you want, and everybody has. But the UCMJ, it says exactly what they just said. You can refuse an illegal order. If some captain comes up to you and says you need to shoot that civilian, it is like, no, I'm not doing that, and there would be no trial. Everything would be fine. But I mean, the implication is they're being asked to do something that's illegal. And so far, there's been nothing. Nobody can name anything. Some of these people have been on talk shows. And I think you saw at least one of them that kind of like was dancing.
The backup beepers were going faster than he could speak. It's like, no, what we actually meant was, it's not so much what we said. No, you said exactly what you meant. And then they go, well, Trump is now threatening us with death. No, he didn't. He didn't threaten anybody with death. All he did was read the statute for what happens when you do a seditious act and you create treason. That's all it was. It was word for word out of the book what those two things, what the punishment was. He threatened us with death. No.
That's what sedition does. I mean, he said in a Truth Social post, he said, it's called seditious behavior at the highest level. Each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. We won't have a country anymore. An example must be set. Later, he said seditious behavior is punishable by death, which all that is true. Now, would that be considered sedition? I think that's a hard that's a hard one to prove. All they were basically saying is that you don't have to carry out any illegal orders. There's underlying message there. Obviously, we all hear it. But if you want to know what sedition actually is, I looked this up, and it said it's conduct or language inciting rebellion against the authority of a state, insurrection or rebellion, and the raising of a commotion in a state not amounting to insurrection, conduct tending to treason, but without an overt act, excitement of discontent against the government, or resistance of lawful authority. And I don't think that any of this is this is a huge nothing burger, but it's one of those things that they carefully worded that video to make sure that
because they never said what acts you should, just they left it open, and it's like, no, you don't need to be playing games. You don't need to be putting question marks in our military when they're out there. Well, am I supposed to, or shouldn't I? Or what is this? No, when you do that, now you have screwed up our
and
troops.
that little bit, could be construed as sedition because you're causing a rift. Caroline Levitt was asked about this, and this was her response.
You have sitting members of the United States Congress who conspired together to orchestrate a video message to members of the United States military, to active duty service members, to members of the national security apparatus, encouraging them to defy the president's lawful orders. The sanctity of our military rests on the chain of command. And if that chain of command is broken, it can lead to people getting killed. It can lead to chaos. And that's what these members of Congress who swore an oath to abide by the Constitution are essentially encouraging. We have 1.3 active duty service members in this country. And if they hear this radical message from sitting members of Congress, that could inspire chaos, and it could incite violence, and it certainly could disrupt the chain of command.
Part of that I agree with. I think it's just going to be hard to prove that was what their intent was.
Boy, they were walking a real fine line. And she says we have 1.3 people in the military.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think she missed the word million. Yeah. I just went, that's not very many.
If you listen closely, they're trying to sweep all this under the rug.
Oh yeah. Oh, they are. The backup beepers, boy, all of a sudden, and I'm getting death threats, and this, and then okay, well, words have consequences. Sorry.
No, I know, and you did this to yourself. And didn't you say that they were?
Why is it? Yeah, somebody said, well, why is he singling us out? Nobody singled you out. You singled yourself out. So.
You held up your hand. I'll get in the video.
Let me talk. Oh, the guy in Colorado is just. Shut up.
I got no use for these people. Mark Kelly especially. He just seems.
He's almost doubling down. Most of the others are backpedaling like nobody's business, and he's going, "You gotta march forward!" And now you're pushing it to a point of you're about to get yourself in a lot of hot water.
I know. Anyway, I think this is probably the last we'll hear about all this anyway. But as promised, we do have a reading or a clip from WKRP in Cincinnati. Their Thanksgiving special that they had is absolutely iconic. If you haven't seen this whole video, you need to go to YouTube and look it up. But here is one of my favorite TV episodes of all time, and this is a clip from that episode.
All right, fellow babies, and now it's time to go to our live remote man on the scene at the Pinedale Shopping Mall for the big WKRP turkey giveaway. So, take it away, Les Nessman.
This is Les Nessman, your man on the scene here at the Pinedale Shopping Center where the excitement is mounting. We're here to witness the big WKRP turkey Thanksgiving giveaway.
Hey, you got permission to be out here?
What?
You're blocking my store here, buddy.
Don't you know who I am? I'm Les Nessman. I won the Buckeye News Hawk Award last year.
Good for you, Buckeye. Now get out of my doorway.
I'm sorry. Creep.
So far, so good, huh?
I'm here with hundreds of people who have gathered to witness what has been described as perhaps the greatest turkey event in Thanksgiving Day history. All we know for sure is that in a very few moments there are going to be a lot of happy people out here. Now the crowd is curious, but well behaved. And I think I hear something now. The crowd is moving out into the parking area. And, oh yes, I can see it now. It's a helicopter. And it's coming this way. Oh, it's flying something behind it. I can't quite make it out. It's a large banner. And it says, Happy Thanksgiving from WKRP. What a sight, ladies and gentlemen, what a sight. The copter seems to be circling the parking area now. I guess it's looking for a place to land. No, something just came out of the back of the helicopter. It's a dark object, perhaps a skydiver, plummeting to the earth from only 2,000 feet into the air. There's no parachutes yet.
Those can't be skydivers. I can't tell just yet what they are, but... Oh, my God, they're turkeys! Oh, Johnny, can you get this? Oh, they're crashing to the earth right in front of our eyes! One just went to the windshield of a parked car! Johnny, this is terrible. The cars
Running around, pushing each other. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the humanity. Oh, people are running about. The turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement.
My favorite line.
I don't know how much longer the crowd is running for their lives. I think I'm going to step inside. I can't stay out here and watch this any longer. No, I can't go in there.
Children are searching for their mothers, and not since the Hindenburg tragedy has there been anything like this. I don't know how much longer I can hold my position here, Johnny. The crowd.
Les, are you there? Les isn't there. Thanks for that on-the-spot report, Les. For those of you who just tuned in, the Pinedale shopping mall has just been bombed with live turkey. Film at 11.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
So if you haven't seen that episode, you need to go see the whole episode. It's
I
fantastic.
show up and turkey feathers are all stacked up. It's hilarious.
They're hitting the ground like sacks of west.
What's it meant? Oh, the humanity.
Oh, yeah, I know. You got to wonder. You ever wondered where that phrase came from? There it is.
Well, it kind of came from the Hindenburg, but that's okay if he stole it.
He referenced the Hindenburg. So, I mean,
That's true. Yeah, well, that's for those who didn't know where it came from. He helped them out. Oh, Lord, we went way over. Okay, that's fun. I still laugh at it every stinking time I see it. It's hilarious.
When I recorded that, because I must have lost it from last year, so I had to re-record it, and I'm over here crying. So anyway, we're up against another break. When we come back, we're going to talk about another House Democrat that got in trouble, and then we'll close out the show with a special reading from Richard about a true story that came from him. So hang in there. We'll be right back.
Happy Thanksgiving from Mike and Richard.
In too many cities, dangerous illegals walk free as police are forced to stand down. Join ICE and help us catch the worst of the worst with bonuses up to $50,000 and generous benefits. Apply now. Join.ice.gov.
I figure we might as well play a real commercial for ICE. I mean,
There you go. Why not?
they're needing people, and we need to eliminate some people from the country. So I mean, what the heck?
Yes. Oh, yes, a congressman. Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Yes, she does. Another House Democrat is in trouble. Here's a report from the Washington Examiner.
A Florida House Democrat is facing serious federal charges for allegedly stealing $5 million in FEMA funds. Representative Sheila Shaffilis McCormick was indicted by a Miami grand jury for stealing the money and laundering it through her family's healthcare company. Prosecutors say the funds were an overpayment from FEMA in 2021, and she hid it in multiple accounts before funneling a large portion to her 2021 congressional campaign. She and an associate allegedly used relatives as straw donors to channel the illicit cash into her run. Shaffilis McCormick, who first won her seat in a 2022 special election after Representative Hastings died, also faced accusations of filing a false tax return with her preparer. They allegedly deducted political spending and personal expenses as business costs and inflated charitable donations to cut her taxes. This makes her the second House Democrat charged with the crime this year, following Representative LaMonica McIver of New Jersey in June. Shaffilis McCormick had already been under House ethics scrutiny for other issues like campaign contributions and unreported in-kind donations. If convicted, she could face up to 53 years in prison, with her brother and others facing decades behind bars as well.
So if you're watching this on video, you saw Richard doing this. If you don't know what that is, that's a washboard. You might have to be...
She was laundering the money. People don't know where laundering money came from. Do you know where it came from?
No, I don't think so. Go ahead.
Well, here's a little history lesson, not that it matters. It came from back in the day with the Tommy guns and all that kind of stuff with the mob that was out doing stuff. They had laundromats, because what are laundromats? They are a cash business. You put money slot in and you get your clothes washed, but via the machine. But in the back of the room, this illicit money was going through the laundry and then being distributed as profit from this, and it came from the, laundry business is doing well.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it come from, laundering the money.
Made $180,000 last month and quarter at a time.
Isn't that well, that's a lot of quarters.
But anyway, the whole motion of the washboard, probably you got to be 50 or older to understand what that even looks like.
Yeah, I've seen one of those.
Yeah, I've seen, it's been a while.
It has been for me too.
She mentioned LaMonica McIver. She's actually facing federal charges. It was, I think it was the 13th of this month that a federal judge approved the indictment, basically to bring federal charges against her. She assaulted some ICE officers outside of a New Jersey ICE detention.
Yeah,
and she's in some deep doo-doo. So that would be.
Well, maybe they bring things up at the same time. They could be cellmates. They kind of know each other, right? Both part of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, they could both complain about Trump being a fascist and the whole thing, and enjoy themselves, and that's a good thing. So anyway, we do have some more insanity coming from the mouth of the mayor-elect in Seattle. Speaking of crazy Democrats, Katie Wilson.
She's going to be running a $9 billion budget, and she couldn't take care of her own money. She still had to have her folks pay her bills because her and her husband were not working.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is where the phrase "truth is stranger than fiction" every time. Anyway,
they will not vote for anybody with an R, so incompetent D it is.
It's certainly not going to happen in Seattle. It's never going to happen. But Newsmax reporter Rob Schmidt reported on this, and it's pretty funny. Here we go.
Katie will now be in charge of Seattle and its $9 billion budget. And with all that money, she has very grandiose plans.
I want everyone in this great city of ours to have a roof over their head. I want universal childcare and free K-8 summer care. I want world-class mass transit. I want great, safe public spaces where kids can run around with abandon. I want stable, affordable housing for renters. I want social housing.
I want. And she'll have $9 billion a year to play with. There you go. Unquestionably, she's going to raise taxes to get even more as well. It's such an easy message to sell, and these people that shouldn't even be running a classroom in a school are starting to run our American cities. More free everything, right? The skyrocketing cost of living in this country has created a fantastic opening for socialists and communists to get into power. Despite the irony of trying to fix a crisis created by too much government by creating even more government, which is what they're promising to do.
It's circular reasoning. I mean,
we have an East Coast and a West Coast socialist mayors now. It's like, we're gonna, and the money for that is, and right now the legislature's been raising, because I'm close to Washington, we hear about it a lot. Oh my Lord, now they have always had a no income tax in Washington. They're about to do away with that because they're not getting enough taxes via your house and all the other things that are happening. The sales tax is almost like 8% there. So they're not going to reduce those other things. They're just going to have an add-on so that there's a income tax that you're going to have to file for as well.
Have they never had income tax, or is that something they really? Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't realize that such a blue state would have no income tax. It's normally
Washington has no sales tax.
So there's no sales tax and no income tax?
No. I'm sorry, I said Washington. Oregon has no sales tax, but they tax the bejeebies out of your property, and your income tax is stupid high, but there's no sales tax.
Yeah. That's that's odd. I know Tennessee, because we were there all the time. We were there last night, but their sales tax is 11%, but there's no income tax in Tennessee. And it's just like, and I don't know about Texas, but Texas, Florida, Georgia is actually, I actually spoke with a guy, Blake Tillery the other day, who is running for lieutenant governor. And one of his things on his agenda is to push for eliminating the income tax here in Georgia, which I'm totally for. I think we get lots of business and industry moving to the state, and we're also got plenty of people touring different places because they have. We make a lot of movies here, and everybody wants to look at where things were filmed, and so I mean, it can be done. You just have to have people in place that will do it. So it's just weird that blue states would have lack of any kind of tax. Seems like they just love to tax. So.
Oh yeah, they do, and that's why they do love to tax, and they are taxing more. Tax and spend is. You can't get a better description of a Democrat. Tax and spend, and then it's like, but where did this? They're looking into bringing up charges on our friend Mr. Newscomb in California. There's billions of dollars that just went. Where did it go for that train? You don't even have a layer of track for almost 15 years of building it and taking money. Where did it go?
Well, it's like the $7 billion that they were going to use for plugging in your electric vehicle in the previous administration. All that money is gone, but I mean, nothing's been built. Was it two or three have been built?
They were supposed to have been, I think it was almost $1 billion to get rural America hooked up to, high-speed internet. Not one house has been hooked up.
Hasn't happened. But I mean, all these things need to be looked at. And I know that, on a related note, I just read this morning that the official DOGE office is closed down, but the mission continues through other things. But the official DOGE office has been closed down.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday too.
We just all this needs to be accounted for. It may not be in my lifetime, but it needs to be accounted for.
At some point in time. Well, we've had a wonderful time today. This is kind of a palate cleanser. More or less, it's kind of funny. To me, it is. This actually happened. This is not made up. This actually 100%. May I be struck by lightning? If I lied a single thing. Anyhow, yes, we had a Thanksgiving where a turkey got cooked 3 times because of issues. So here's that. The story you're about to hear is true. None of the names are made up because I didn't mention any of them. I'm the only one in this story that you know who it is. This is the story of the thrice-cooked turkey. This happened about 44 years ago in 1979. Ah, yes. The wife and I were married about 4 years at this time, and we had just gone through the whole process of 20-something-year-old kids who got their own first house. Was it big? No, but by gum, it was our house. A whopping 900-some square foot, 3 tiny bedrooms, 1 bath, and a single-car garage. But it was ours. So we were so proud of our new house that we thought we would invite my wife's family, consisting of her mother and dad and 3 siblings that were still living at home. Now, when we first got this new house, it did not come with a stove or a refrigerator. We found a fridge to buy and put into the house. Was a used one, but it worked great for us. We were very fortunate, and this will come into play later, that my father-in-law spent 20 years in the Air Force, and then, because they still lived near an air base, he spent another nearly 20 years in civil service. He was in the department that repaired things for the housing and their appliances and all that kind of stuff. Well, as luck would have it, they were taking out all of the old stoves and stuff and updating some of the base housing. He got us a stove as a housewarming gift. I think he said he paid $25 for it, which was awesome, and gave us this stove. But not only did we get the stove, we got an entire box of parts, which you don't get that when you buy it from an appliance store very often, that's for sure. we invited them down, and they were to come down to our house. And because there was going to be a fair amount of us, we decided we would get a bird that was pretty close to 20 pounds. We got up early in the morning. It's always been, I don't know why, it just always has been my job to cook the turkeys, get them prepared, put them in the oven, all that stuff. So I did all that, got it ready, got the mirepoix ready, put the bird in the roasting pan, all that good stuff, and got it all in there. And it'd been cooking. Now, this bird needed to cook somewhere close to 5 hours. And then you have resting time. So, 5.5, whatever, before it's ready to eat. It had been in the oven, not quite 2 hours, and got out the old turkey baster and was going to suck some of the juice and put it over top of the turkey, because that was still a thing at the time. And I opened that oven door, and there she went, just like there was a little man in there with a cutting torch on that bottom heating element. Just went up in flames and separated. Yikers. Turned the power off quick, shut off the stove, let it cool down, and then went, wait a minute. I think there was a heating element in that box of parts. I never really looked at it. It was a box, had a bunch of stove parts. I go out there, guess what? On Thanksgiving Day, I had a new heating element. I'm not touching that thing while it's blistering hot. So the bird set out, probably close to an hour. All cooled down, put the new heating element in, fire that puppy up 400 and something so that it would burn off whatever crap is on a new heating element. That all went away. Then we put the turkey back in the oven. So it was out maybe an hour and 15, 20 minutes. All right, we're on cook number 2. It was in the oven about another 2 hours. We'd gotten a hold of the in-laws earlier and said, yeah, you don't need to come down quite as early. We kind of had an issue, but I got it all fixed. We're good to go. They were headed down. They lived about an hour and a half away. They were on their way down. No big deal. No cell phones in the day. They're on their way, and all of a sudden, we're working away on stuff, and it's been in there about another 2 hours. I was going to do some more basting, and before I could even start the basting, pew, no power. Not just at my house, the little small town we lived in. Too many ovens were on all at once, and we had no power for, it was around an hour and a half, something like that. So after an hour and a half of it setting out, the power all comes back on. Yay, rah. Here we are, number 3 with a bullet. Put that puppy back in, turn it back on. I left it in the oven, so it was staying good and warm this time, but after an hour or so, the oven's getting cooled down. Here we go. Fire that puppy back up, and up she goes, and we get her done cooking. It's finally up to the temperatures it needs to be, about 160 something in the breast and 175-ish or so in the thigh. We're good to go. Get that puppy out. We're about 2.5 hours late from when we were gonna eat. And we got it all taken care of, and that was done. And the next day, well, there was a problem. My mother-in-law said she wasn't feeling very well, and one of the wife's siblings did not also feel well the next day. We were fine. We didn't have any problem. We all ate the same thing, so I don't think they got food poisoning. But my father-in-law seemed to be fine, but that's the first and only time in all the times they were alive that we ever had Thanksgiving at our house with them. It wasn't all bad. We did have a good time, and it's made for a wonderful story over the last 44 years. So I hope you enjoyed the story of the thrice cooked turkey. Yep, we cooked her 3 times and ate it up. Take care, folks, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
To be fair, I don't think I'd have come back either. So
I was just like, are you kidding me? Then when the power went out, okay, the heating element, it was an older stove. Okay, I could see that. But when the power went, you've got to be kidding me. Just all of a sudden, you look out, there's no lights in anybody's houses. There's nothing.
Was it truly because there were too many people running power, running their...
Well, it was a very small little town at the time. It would, in the summertime, if you were watering, and it was like we get well over 100 degrees at times, all of a sudden your water would go...
Yeah, like a bad prostate.
You have no water anymore, and it's not coming from a ditch. That's from the community well. There wouldn't be any water.
Wow.
So yeah, it was just a little small town.
That happens. Yeah. I
So
mean,
that was my guess, is that,
it could be.
it was all at about the same time. That power went out somewhere around like 3 o'clock-ish or something.
That's when everybody would be doing it for sure.
Yep. Well, that was just a theory I had. I have no idea what caused it, but on Thanksgiving Day, really? Seriously?
The turkey still wasn't doing
No, it wasn't talking anymore.
Wasn't talking anymore.
No, but it was fun.
You know.
So anyhow,
that's
that's my thrice cooked turkey. I would tell my classes that, and when I was doing customer service training at a call center, and they'd go, "Excuse me, what do you mean? What's a thrice cooked turkey? One that's been cooked how many times, people? That would be 3. Very good."
Well, may not know what thrice is, but I mean, I know what it was. We were taught that in school.
Yeah.
But yeah, the true stories are the best. I mean, they just are.
You can't make that up. That was just like, seriously. And that's what I opened that oven door, and it was just a giant flame that shot up. It's like, what the? Are you kidding me? The heating element just went on Thanksgiving Day. In the 70s, everything is shut down. There is no place to go.
Yeah.
But I had some in a box. I went, wait a minute.
Oh man, that's like I said, the best stories are the true ones. So, hey, next week, don't forget we have Charmaine Davies coming on with us, and we'll get big updates on Keir Starmer and some of his antics that he's doing over there, and not just him. I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff goes on over in the UK, and I think we are just so caught up with what happens here in the US, we forget that there's the rest of the world is just as BS crazy than we are. So, so we will have that. And don't forget to bring up politics this Thanksgiving, because it'll save you a ton of money over Christmas. I took the lady at Anthem Blue Cross Blue.
Won't have to be getting hardly any of them at all.
We don't have to worry about a thing. You can just stay home and eat a turkey sandwich and watch football. So we hope you were somewhat informed and had fun like we did. Don't forget, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Smart Speaker, Rumble, or wherever you find podcasts.
And if finding podcasts isn't your thing, you can put in a website. Just go to our good old website of stayoffmylawn.us for all our past and present episodes, including, don't we have the thing we did on tariffs?
Oh, yes.
Is that on our website?
It's up there. It's right around episode 140. I think it's right after episode 140. So you can go on and listen to that anytime. So
just a little lesson that we decided to record that we found on tariffs. So to help inform you.
Yeah, it's historical, and it's real, and it's like I said, him and I love history. So Richard and I think that's, if you forget history, you're bound to repeat it, which is another thing that. So anyway, have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you next week, folks.
Toodles, thanks again for watching, and tell a friend about it, and we appreciate all of you. Bye now.